All right.
Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. Raise your hand with Armado.
We can't hear you. He on mute.
Matt, I think you're on mute.
Tell him do it again.
Raise your hands with questions for Armado, please.
We can't hear.
You guys can't hear Matt. Somebody go ahead and ask a question for Armando.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Armando. Hey, Armando. I'll go ahead and go first. What was the energy like tonight, especially after coming off two tough games that you guys had over the weekend and kind of a quick turnaround playing against a club like Asheville tonight?
Yeah, man. Just coming and after the weekend, obviously it didn't go the way we wanted. We all were pretty upset about that. But coming into this game, we knew we wanted to get out there and just compete on defense. We fixed a few things in practice and kind of emphasized some of the things that we weren't doing. So we tried to just really try to get after it on defense.
What were a couple of those things?
Go ahead, Andrew.
What were a couple of those things that you guys fixed on defense and looked at fixing?
Just like some of the small details we weren't doing, just like getting in the gaps and doing things like that. That was something that we kind of lacked this weekend, which really kind of led us to not playing really good on defense.
CL?
Armando, 1 month into this season, how would you assess where this team is? Is it where you expect it to be? Are you guys kind of behind, ahead? What do you feel like? How do you assess this team so far?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, I would say going into the tournament in Mohegan, we definitely felt like we were the most talented or one of the most talented teams in that tournament, but obviously didn't go the way we wanted. So I would say we were not where I expected, but we are going in the right direction.
Andrew Jones, go ahead.
I'll go, Matt. Armando, how did Hubert address the team following that Tennessee loss and in practice yesterday?
It was intense. I mean, we got out there yesterday, but I mean, it was just more us trying to figure out what we did and what we didn't do, and just correcting it, and just, like I said, emphasizing the principles that we lacked as a team, and just paying attention to our coach's direction. That was just the main thing, just trying to figure those things out.
But beyond the schematics of it, I mean, he expressed some concern with intensity and effort. How did he address that?
Well, coach really didn't. He did address it, but it was just more of us as players just coming together. We really realized that we dropped the ball this weekend, and we all were pretty upset about it. But I feel like that's something that'll help us out going on further into the season. We just realized that we got to have a lot better, different approach, and we got to come together more.
Thanks.
Brendan?
Hey, Armando. Yeah, this is the fourth straight game. I know you mentioned that you guys sort of focused on some things defensively. This is the fourth straight game that you guys have had an opponent not have even 10 turnovers in a game. Can you explain some of the ways that you guys are trying to emphasize that and improve in that metric?
My fault. Can you say it again? It broke up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. So this is the 10th straight game where the opponent you guys have played has not had 10 turnovers. Can you just explain some of the ways you guys are trying to improve in that statistic?
Just being more aggressive on the defensive end, just like getting into the ball, trying to heat the ball up more. I feel like that was something we were kind of lacking. We were kind of just playing a little bit off and not being an aggressive defensive team, just trying to be safe. So now we're just trying to be a lot more aggressive. And some of the things we do, like blowing up screens and just kind of getting out more and hedging out a little bit harder.
Thank you.
Adam Smith?
Armando, along those very same lines, like the changes that you all talked about coming out of the Mohegan Sun and some of the improvements that you want to make, did you see specific signs of those tonight at times in the game, or did you feel like you didn't see nearly as many as you wanted to see?
Definitely. I mean, coming out in the first half, it was like a point in time where we had like 7 straight missed shots, no points for the other team. And I mean, I feel like that was just a step in the right direction because, I mean, the first 5 games, we weren't really good at defense at all. So just us being able to build off the 7 stops that we got in a row and just all the other stops we've been getting today, I feel like it's a good building point and some good training tape for us to look at and build off of.
Thank you.
Brett Friedlander, and then we're going to bring Brady in here after Brett's question.
Yeah, Armando, you had a lull there in the second half. I think they got within 9 or 8, and then you scored 9 straight points. Did you consciously try to take over at that point?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all just came into a huddle and was like, it's just time to lock in more on offense. We kind of were a little flat on offense. We couldn't really get a bucket, but at that point, we knew we just had to get the score back up and just compete a little bit even harder.
But personally, did you consciously try to, to assert yourself more offensively to get that going again?
I mean, definitely. I mean, this whole game, I knew I had to come out and just be even more aggressive and give that post option because, I mean, I feel like when I catch it in the post, I can basically score on anybody. So this whole game, I just wanted to just assert my dominance. I mean, I've been shooting a pretty good percentage. So just, I guess when I get the ball, good things happen for the most part. So that's something that coach emphasized and the players too, just me getting the ball more and being even more aggressive.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Mondo. Brady's coming in now, so raise your hands for Brady, please. Michael Coe, we will start with you.
Hi, Brady. How would you rate both your individual performance and the team's performance tonight?
We got to get better, plain and simple. I don't know what it is, but we got to play better. It's about it. I don't know if it's got to come together more. We just got to play basketball. I don't know. We got to play better. Should have beat them by a lot more than what we did, and just got to play better. And for me, played okay.
Thank you.
Jeremiah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is you all's first game since the season opener in which you were leading at halftime and you never trailed in the game. So can you speak to how important it is to jump out to an early lead in a game like this where in the second half, they were, starting to get the trap going and things like that. Can you talk about how important it is to get out to an early lead in a game like this?
It's not that we got to get out to early lead. We got to get out to early lead and hold it. I mean, we can't let teams like that stick around. Because when we play teams that are going to do that to us, we gotta be able to respond. We gotta be able to play. We got lit up this weekend, and that was our fourth straight game where we're down at halftime, and you can't be down in teams like that. They'll make you pay for it, and they'll keep you down. And put that on tonight. We got to be up more. We got to put it on them more, and we got to let them feel how we felt this last weekend. I don't know how else to explain it. We got to play better. 40 minutes, let alone the start of the game. We got to play better the entire time.
Gregory Hall, go ahead.
Brady, Hubert talked about changes that need to be made following the Tennessee game. How did he talk with you guys, I guess, the last 48 hours of practice and meetings? Just how did he respond? What did he say to you guys that needed to be changed?
We got to play together. We got to play as a team. We got to enjoy other people's success. We got to be a team. That's basically it. There's nothing else basketball than being a team. We got stomped by two teams this weekend. We were not a team. We got to play as a team.
Brendan, go ahead.
Hey, Brady. Yeah, just to sort of follow up on that idea, Armando mentioned, you guys had an incredible sense of frustration after this weekend, understandably so. Just sort of did you guys have any coming together and opportunity sort of, I don't know, air grievances is the right word, but, how have you guys sort of talked amongst yourselves in the last 48 hours?
Ignore what everybody else is saying. We got to fix whatever's wrong, and we just got to enjoy it. Everybody's down on us. We're down on ourselves. We gotta get out of this hole that we dug for ourselves. So whatever we got to do, we got to get out of it. We got to play well because next team that comes in is going to be just as frustrated. They're going to be ready to play, and we're going to be slow start, down at half, all that stuff. They're going to make us pay just like this last weekend because they're going to be a good team.
C.L. Brown, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, how much of being a guy who's played so much and basically the most experienced player on this team, how much have you tried to realize to relay what you're telling us just in terms of, how important it is to play as a team and to kind of value every opportunity.
I think everybody's relaying it. I think almost everybody on this team has felt a disappointment at the end of the season. Everybody on this team got somewhere and got blitzed. I mean, we felt it last weekend. I felt it several years. I mean, guys have felt it, and we don't want to be there. And not much to say. We just gotta keep moving forward, keep getting better, and like I said, we just gotta be a team.
Patrick Welter, go ahead.
Brady, it sounds like last weekend's result is still pretty, stings right now. So what do you think when you see number 20 Michigan on the schedule next?
Better come ready to play.
Adam Smith, go ahead.
Brady, just listening to you in Connecticut the other day after the Tennessee game, and then here tonight, are you mad about the way you guys are playing? I mean, I'm not trying to sound funny, but are you frustrated? Like, what it seems like you expect a lot more out of you guys, maybe.
Yeah, I would say so. We got some amazing talent. We got some good players. We got a lot of guys that know how to play basketball. We got to play basketball. I mean, we got 4 McDonald's All-Americans. Most I've ever had on a team is 1. So put 4 on a team, we should be really good, and we're not showing it. So we got to play. We got to play better. We got to play harder. We got to play smarter, and we need to make up for what happened and keep moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, last two, Brett Friedlander and then Josh Graham.
Steve, I don't have a question. I just forgot to take my hand down. So let somebody else do that, please.
Brady, obviously you're pretty frustrated after this one. Would you say the source of your frustration is more about what happened on the offensive end with the 18 turnovers, or still what's not happening defensively?
I think it's a mixture of everything. We played super hard on defense today. Everybody's going to give up a play. Everybody's going to get a drive by. Everybody's going to miss a block out. I mean, it happens. It's basketball. I mean, but we played our butts off from defensive end, and now our offense wasn't moving. And I mean, it's just one thing after another. But we got to fix it. We got to play a whole 40 minutes. Last few weeks, everybody's been on us for our defense, and we're giving up so many points. And all I hear is so many points in the paint, giving up this many points. People are outscoring us by this much, and teams are in the 90s, this and that. Well, we played defense tonight, and we didn't really play offense. We gotta play both. We can't just pick one. We gotta play both.
Thanks, Brady. Everybody sit tight. Coach Davis will be in here in a couple of minutes.
Hey, Coach. So how did you address the team in the locker room, knowing that your next game isn't until 8 days away? So it's going to be a while before you're back out there.
Well, I felt like this is a great opportunity for us to get better as a team. We're off for 8 days, and we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're going to spend time together as a team away from the court, but we're going to practice a lot, and we're going to get better. I don't care what anybody says. I'm convinced that this is a team that has a chance to win a national championship. I just believe that. They're great kids, unbelievable kids to be around every day. They're talented out there on the floor, and I'm excited about this week to get better as a team and to spend time together as a team. It's hard to during the season with school and recruiting, and I can't wait to get back to spending time together with the team away from the court. And so I'm really excited about these next 8 days.
Thank you.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, Coach, 4 straight games, the opponent has scored 19 points off of your turnovers. I know that keeping the turnovers down and limiting the number of points teams got off of them was a major point of emphasis this offseason. So what have you seen that's been a bit of the issue these last 4 games that has led to that?
Well, one of the things I always say with turnovers, it's either one or two things. It's selfishness or carelessness. Our turnovers are 100% never selfish. They just aren't. They're just careless. And so we've talked about it daily, and that's something that we're going to reinforce every day about taking care of the basketball and not being careless with the basketball. We've gone against teams that have pressured and teams that have pressed, and for whatever reason, carelessly, we passed the ball, and they were able to, UNC Asheville was able to get some deflections and some steals. I'm going to focus on the positive. The positive is that, we held them to 26% from the field. Over the weekend against Purdue and Tennessee, from a defensive standpoint, we didn't play defense the way that I felt like we can play defense. And so tonight, to hold a team to 26%, I'm really encouraged by that, and I'm going to focus on the positive.
Well, I was going to ask you about defense as well. Both Armando and Brady said that was a major point of emphasis yesterday. And Brady said that he thought that you guys played their quote unquote butts off tonight defensively. Were you pleased with the effort? And do you think that taking defense personally was something you saw a little bit more of tonight?
I do. I really do. I think that, when we talked about over the weekend, both Tennessee, and Purdue shot 55% from the field and over 40% from three. I think there was a stat that we allowed over the weekend, over 90 points in the paint over the weekend, and we took offense to that. We're a much better defensive team than what we played against Purdue and Tennessee, and there were a lot of frustrated, upset, motivated guys in the locker room, and they responded on the defensive end. I mean, there was a stretch in the first half where I felt like we got 7 stops in a row. And I was really excited and really happy for that. And I thought we were dialed in defensively.
Thank you.
CL Brown.
Hubert, Brady sounded kind of ticked off when he, just came in for the interview, and basically the tone of it was he expects better, and he felt like you guys could be better in a lot of areas. How do you balance, or what do you want to see the balance like in terms of the leadership the players take in terms of taking that step forward and being able to criticize each other, and you having to step in and kind of be the leader for the team?
Well, I mean, I love Brady. I love his fire. One of the things, he's our most experienced player. He's played 4 years in a Big 12. He's played in big games, big situations. And so even though he hasn't been here, he has a clear understanding of what it takes to be competitive, what it takes to win and be successful in big games and big situations. And so I love when he speaks up, when he speaks, the team listens. Because of his experience, because of his play, and because of how wise he is out there on the floor. And so I like his fire. I always say this to the guys, that if you're emotional and you show emotions, that's good. If you're emotional and you have emotions out there on the floor, on the bench, in the huddle, I'm 100% for that. That means you care. So you saying that, Brady came in to the interview room hot. That puts a smile on my face. That means he cares, and he's right. This team can be really good, and he understands that. And I'm glad that we're very fortunate to have Brady Manek on this team and a part of this program.
Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Hubert. Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on that as well. You were asked, how you sort of responded and what you told the guys after the weekend. How did you see them sort of intermingling just in general, not just Brady? How did you see them talking to each other, holding each other accountable? And are there any sort of specific instances that you saw translate to the court tonight?
Well, I think, it did translate, from a defensive standpoint. As I said before, we held them to, 26% from the field. And so our response to us defensively, I was in favor of. As I said before, from how we played defense over the weekend, what was our response going to be? And from a defensive standpoint, I thought it was great. One of the things that I talked to the guys about is what it means to play at this place. What it means to put on this uniform and run out of that tunnel and be a part of this university and this program and what it means not only to them but to their families, to former players, for this university and for this community. And I was really happy with the response. We didn't play well on the offensive end. You know, you talked about the turnovers. We missed layups and shots that we normally make. But I do like our response. I think for the most part, our guys were stunned. They were stunned after this weekend. One of the things, it's interesting, my dad said this to me today, and for whatever reason, I never thought about it, but as good as we are, we're not that experienced. RJ and Caleb and Kerwin are only sophomores. Dawson's only a sophomore. Armando's a junior, but he's the last couple years haven't been Carolina basketball. And so, none of our guys have experienced those stories, those memories, those testimonies that I have, Coach May, Coach Frederick, Coach Sullivan, and Coach Lebo. And I think they were a little shocked about what happened this weekend. In a good way, it's going to hold us accountable and it's going to move us in the right direction. And I believe it moved us in the right direction today.
Gregory Hall.
Hubert, your team held an early 15-point lead against Loyola and then won by 16. And then tonight you held a 20-point lead early, and then they went on a 23-10 run, and then you guys won by 19. Just what's allowing teams to kind of hang around after you kind of put your push on them early?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that we have talked about is sustaining the type of effort that we need to have on both ends of the floor for the entire game. We really haven't put a full 40 minutes together. We've had spots, we've had halves, and in order to have the ability to achieve the things that we want and our goals as a team, we're going to have to put a full game together. And so those are things that, we're continuing to work on. Those are things that will come. It's only game 6. And so very few teams are, if any, are settled right now on game 6. But we're improving, we're getting better. And I like where our team is, and I like where our team is going to be at the end of the year.
So you think that's happening because they can't put a full 40 minutes just because of how early it is and still trying to get settled, or why do you think hasn't happened yet?
No, I just am not panicking because it's the 6th game. That's the only reason. And so that's the only reason.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Coach Davis. Caleb is here. Raise your hand with questions for Caleb, please. Jeremiah Holloway, go ahead.
Yeah, Caleb. They were bringing out the full court defense Asheville was in the first half. And in the second half, it looked like, they were starting to cause a little bit more turnovers off of that. So can you talk a little bit about what they were doing, what Asheville was doing with that full court trap, what you guys needed to do to respond to it, and just how that, if at all, disrupted the offensive rhythm in that second half?
I just feel like we didn't use our ball fakes and we weren't coming to the ball. I feel like they kind of extended the pressure in the first half. They weren't really coming to us more, but they as the second half came and they started to the score started to extend. I feel like they started to extend the pressure and start to double a little bit and use their active hands. But I feel like we just gotta take away the silly ones that just use ball fakes and we'll be good.
Josh Graham, go ahead.
Caleb, Coach said he wanted to focus on some of the positives when he met with us, but then we chatted with Brady, and he just says you guys have to be better, plain and simple, and probably should have won this game by even more than what you guys did. How would you describe the mood in the locker room amongst the players?
I totally agree with Brady. We should have definitely beat them by more than what we did, but we could take a lot of good things away and just get back to the drawing board. We got a week off, and then we got a big game versus Michigan. So I feel like we just gotta play more together and play harder and play smarter.
Did any of the guys take ownership in the locker room and speak to the team as a whole?
All of it. We all took ownership. The whole team. We one as a whole, and I feel like one mess up, we all mess up. One do good, we all do good. So it's no one person or anybody. So no one person ever gonna take the own of the whole loss or mistake. We all take ownership.
Brendan Marks.
Hey, Caleb. Both Hubert and Armando said after this weekend that they weren't really satisfied with the level of effort you guys provided up in Connecticut. Did you feel like that was an improvement tonight, or is there still, more effort that you guys can show moving forward?
Defensively, I felt like we definitely took a step forward today. We just got to put a full 40 minutes on that end. And then offensively, we just got to run our stuff a little harder, and then we just got to stick to the principles of what coach says, and we just got to play together. Like I said, we move the ball a little bit more, and then just trust each other. I feel like that's what we got to do. We just got to trust each other, and then everything else will fall in place.
CL?
Caleb, what did you take out of the games from the weekend at the Hall of Fame tip-off?
I just feel like we just gotta. It wasn't so much. I'm not gonna focus on the bad. I just feel like we watched film already. We watched about 2.5 hours of it, and we seen how bad we looked on the defensive end mainly, and then we just teachable moments on the offensive end, and then we watched how good the other teams were and how they was getting into their stuff and how hard they was running their stuff. And then this is like teachable moments of Coach Davis was telling us we just got to run our stuff hard. We got to be tougher. We got to be smarter. We just got to play together and trust each other. Like I said, this team has to be built on trust. And once everybody trusts each other, then I feel like I said, we'll be better.
Is the trust a matter of, you guys still haven't played together long enough collectively to kind of have that continuity? Is that kind of the trust issue, or is there something else?
I really feel like we just got to fill each other out more. Just knowing that my teammate got my back on the defensive end, and then on the offensive end, I can trust my teammate to make this extra pass or set this screen or anything on that nature. And I feel like I said earlier, we'll be good.
All right, last two, Isaiah and then Adam Smith.
Hey, Caleb, you talk about trust. How assuring is it that guys can seemingly give the ball to Armando anytime you guys are kind of out of whack on offense, and he can just come together and be dominant, put up a run that can change momentum in the game?
Yeah, we all trust Mondo to make those shots at the rim. I don't feel like anybody can really stop him unless they double him, and even if they double him, he's still able to get the ball up there and score. So he's one of the most dominant bigs in the country, and if not the best. And I just feel like every time we're in a funk or we know he's gonna be able to hold it down.
Last one, Adam, go ahead.
Caleb, I realize that it's only Thanksgiving, but just, along the same lines of what we've been talking about, what we talked about in Connecticut and then tonight, like how far away from reaching your potential do you think you guys are? I know no one has probably hit that across the country yet, but like how far away or how close, how do you measure that, where you guys are in terms of your progression toward reaching your potential?
I feel like we're right there. It's just a little thing. We got to tighten up the little things. Like you said, we're only 5-6 games in, and nobody's gonna be polished to the point where, they're a problem or they're the best team in the country just based off 5-6 games. I feel like once we just lock in and do the things coach tells us to do, and like I said, trust each other and we play together, play hard, and play smart, then we'll reach that potential.
All right, thank you,
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.